Hey, welcome guys, welcome. Sorry about that, I just didn't get myself a drink. I sort of sat down, got it all sort of set up, and then realised that my timer for YouTube had already run its course, and so I'm a little bit late into YouTube. So welcome. We're going to be playing, of course, Fortress Friday yet again, and just continuing on with the previous fortress, which is Twinkling Hammer. Like, we've only just really started here. We've already got one dwarf that's been killed, and that dwarf then came back as a zombie, which was then subsequently crushed by I forget who it was that actually did the kill there. But we do actually have a few different things going through there. Hi, Private Joe and Syrian. Hope you guys are doing well. Hi to anybody else that joins us as well. Please ask any questions about the game if you wanted to see anything. Don't know why we're starting here. Normally it would start around there. All right, we do actually now have a working well by the looks of things. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So we had a big problem. It shouldn't have been a big problem, but it was a big problem, where we actually ended up with a little bit of a hospital in through this other side. There's our zombie. This is Dwarf, the mangled corpse of Dwarf, the zombie, who did come back to life, was outside and got scratched by some zombie marmots. Now, it wasn't the scratching that killed Dwarf, it was the fact that I then built a hospital before I had everything ready for a hospital, and that was the problem. So hopefully no one else gets injured until we're actually up and running with the hospital. I shouldn't have built the hospital. If I hadn't have built the hospital, Dwarf would still be alive. So entirely my fault. Hi, Heart of Mithril, how are you going? So anyway, we've got like a whole lot of stuff that's now been brought down. I think we've got everything from up top. Let's have a bit of a look and see. There's a hoary marmot corpse, which was a zombie hoary marmot. Dwarf got scratched over here. Dwarf was our wood chopper, so it has been able to chop down a little bit of wood before basically succumbing to the scratches of the hoary marmot. There's still some things outside actually, which we do need to bring inside. And I've completely forgotten what we've actually got in the fortress. Let's just have a quick look and see. There's no little warning about anything negative in what we actually have. Let's just go back down through and see what we end up getting. So we end up coming down this way, then coming back up. This is sort of like a bit of a fail-safe area where we can then sort of at least lock the fortress down. We have got some turkeys in this area just until we can get set up properly. We then walk across into this mode over to here, and then go back down into the fortress itself. Over through this side we've got a stoneworker's workshop, but that will then be removed at some point. Now I do actually have what I shouldn't have done here is I should not have taken stone. We don't want any stone, so no stone at all if we can do that. A bit too late now, unfortunately, because of what we've done. We have got some blocks that we've been building because we had to build some for the fortress. So we'll do that now. Correct that, at least that problem there with this large area. We may have to sort of look at different things with this. May even have to cheat a little bit just to move things across. So then what we then needed to do was very urgently try to find a few different things. We had to build a well, and we didn't get the well built in time. And so poor old Dwarf ended up starving to death and then coming back to life as a zombie. Shouldn't come back to life again, I don't think. So the well is working, and we're using the well through an aquifer. And so this is all aquifer in through here. In fact, if I just go and show you. So when you've got damp walls, the way it sort of now works, particularly with DF Hack, I don't know if that's just DF Hack or the actual base game, but when you've got damp walls where there's been water splashed on the walls, you're going to get this one droplet appearance. When you've got walls that actually seep water out, you're going to get this double droplet. And if you've got a fast moving aquifer, like one that really pours out of the rock, it'll have 3. So if you see a 3, you're in trouble. Unless you're controlling it somehow. In this case, what we're doing is we're controlling it into this staircase, and then the staircase goes all the way down. You can see there's a few little bits of rock. There was some bituminous coal Actually, that's good to know that we do actually have bituminous coal. So we've got bituminous coal in the fortress. It may be difficult for us to mine this, but we'll see how we go. We may have to sort of lock off an area just to get the coal in the aquifer itself. We'll see how we go with that. Anyway, if we do need the coal, and we may need it just to get our steel mining up and running. Coal can be made into coke, and coke can then be used as a fuel source. So that's, and also as an active agent for changing iron to steel. So that's sort of why bituminous coal can be really quite a useful resource. The fact it's inside a aquifer is a bit of a problem. All right, then we have the more of it coming down into this way. You can sort of see that this is mainly magnetite and hematite. We just happen to have a little bit of aquifer here, but this is not actually aquifer back in through this other side. So it's and it may be worth us sort of not really. I think we're fine where we are because we've got more aquifer down this way. No aquifer where the actual, in this case, native platinum is on this particular layer. You can see we've got more bituminous coal in that wall there. These walls have all been smoothed, so they're no longer aquifers. We come down into a pit down this way, which is now full of water. This is starting to fill up on this particular layer, and then down into the bottom of the actual pit itself, where we then actually end up having this is 7 deep, and this is also 7 deep. So we've got 2 layers of water, which is quite important with a well. The well you'll see down through the bottom there, a dusting of mud. Now, at different times, it may not just be a dusting, it could be even more, in which case you don't want the bucket going down into mud. Otherwise, you're not going to have clean water. But when you've got 2 layers of water like this, you've got clean water on the layer above it, and that's important. So we've got that one going through. Now, I'm not sure if I'm streaming everywhere. Let's just see if we're actually up and running properly. So Twitch will be okay. And YouTube is okay. Yep, good. All right. So anyway, that's where we are with the well. So the well is now established. We don't have to worry about that anymore. It's one of the issues we're going to sort of have is that we want to be building our fortress back in a more central position. Okay, Syrian saying confirmed live on both. Thank you. Just haven't had any comments yet on YouTube, and usually YouTube is fairly active at the start. So anyway, let's continue on. So we've got the so that is the well. So the well is now established. What we then also needed to do was we were finding, and you can see we've got aquifer in through here as well, where we've just had to quickly go and smooth the walls just to sort of keep this, and we've got some mud now on the floor here as well. Eventually that will sort of get cleaned up, but we don't need to worry about it just yet. This is not going to be our main entrance, and so we've sort of been diverted a little bit back across. This is going to be our main entrance, which you'll see in the mini-map is much more central. So this is will be where we're sort of working. We do actually have a layer above. I was trying to see if there was any aquifer up this way, which there wasn't. And then we haven't done anything else above, but we've got it ready for the fortress itself to then be built in the higher levels. While we're up this way as well, you'll notice that there's all this mud on the ground. This is not just mud. This is abhorrent goo. And when it rains the abhorrent goo, it is going to make our dwarves incredibly unhappy. And you can see there we've already got like a few dwarves that are really getting unhappy now. We've only got one dwarf that is happy, and that's because they've been inside the whole time. And so the goo, if they do get caught in the goo rain, it doesn't do any damage to them. But now that we've got the well, that was another reason to get the well set up. They can at least now go and clean themselves off rather than walking around covered in slime. So it does rain slime here. We're playing in a haunted biome. And that's the problem we have. It's a reanimating haunted biome, which makes life very, very difficult. Mike's saying, I've never played Dwarf Fortress, but seriously consider picking it up. Intimidating, though. It doesn't have to be intimidating. It's a little bit like a lot of these sorts of games that have got a lot in them, where you don't need to really know too much about what you're doing. You can stumble your way through it, And if you use the Dwarf Fortress wiki, that's a great resource to help you with certain things. And so you sort of more learn as you go along. You learn about what you need, and of course, playing in the biome that we are makes life incredibly difficult. So yes, I wouldn't recommend playing with the in these evil biomes if you're new to the game. Excuse me. The other thing we had to find was that we've got some yaks, and they were starving, and so if they had died of starvation in amongst all this rock. In fact, they were here with the turkeys. They would have destroyed the fortress when they came back as zombie yaks. So we had to get them some food. The only way we could really do that, and we will have to secure that this time as soon as we possibly can, is we had to build this staircase down past the aquifer. You can see we've had to go a fair way down. This is all aquifer all the way through here. Even that's aquifer. If I just click on do this one, we've had to smooth the walls just to stop the aquifer. More aquifer that we've had to smooth. So it was a very deep aquifer. And then we finally make our way into solid bedrock, and then we're finally at the bottom of the fortress. Now, while I was digging my way through the aquifer with the staircase, I was looking for the caverns underground, and we did find them at the end of the session. And so, as we came down into this area, I've got other zones in through here which are now set up to be mined in the future, but we do actually have an area at the bottom here where there is actually a bit of water. There's a pile of mud there, pile of mud. So this is evaporating away. Water at 1 of 7. So we're actually pretty safe in this instance at this location. But as I sort of came back, maybe we're not. Actually, pile of mud, pile of mud. As we get to the bottom, this was the one that we tried to get working. And in the end, when we come back down, you can see that there's splashing of water in through here. But this is 4 of 7. So this one actually filled up with water. This is why I had to go down on this other side. And that was then the bottom. It's still an up-down stairway, but we never got it finished. So as we sort of go back down, this is actually full of water, 7 of 7. So I've got a problem here that I'm going to have to try to resolve. And I'm not sure how I'll do that just yet. I may just have to keep this one blocked in, and then that's still 7 of 7 as I go even deeper again. And 7 of 7, 7 of 7. So this is quite deep before we get down to the bottom here. And so that's completely full of water all the way through. And there's a stairway there. So that is there's a lot of water just in that little area, which means we may not ever be able to fully remove it. Unless we sort of unless we open up a great big area underground. And we could do that actually. What we could do is we could actually use this to flood an area for growing. And that's actually something we might look at doing on this layer here, as an example. In this layer here, we then went down even further, and then we did find the underground cavern. Yeah, I think we might do that this turn, actually. Then we got the cavern here. And I think we missed one of the other caverns somewhere, because the colour here is usually the colour for the middle cavern. And so we found this location. We've got some dangerous areas in this because we've sort of gone down into it. So let me just go back up the top here again and just see what we've actually got. It does come a long way up. You've got a couple of different zones into here. And what I need to do is I need to sort of block this off. Okay, what we'll do in this case is I think we'll make use of this and make it a growing area back off into here somewhere. It won't the water that we have here won't fill it up dramatically, but it'll be a little bit. So, but let's just have a quick look down through here again. So does this one go anywhere? Yeah, it comes out into the opening there, and then this one continues on down until we get to the bottom here, in which case the yaks were then moved out into this zone, I think. There they are. Yeah, so they're now no longer starving, so they're actually now eating what's here, but this is quite dangerous. We chose this spot here because it is very, very easy for us to block this off. There's one layer, you can see there a really big area in there of solid rock, and then when I go to the next layer, you can see there that most of that is only one layer because it's got this sort of like this grey colour. The blue colour shows that it goes down multiple layers, and so we can't use that. But the area underneath this dark area where the cursor is, and then down to the next one, is actually can be blocked off very, very easily, ultimately in the long term. But we do need to protect this. So this is actually, at the moment, a point of weakness. If we end up with trolls or anything coming through here, that could be a big problem. Now we also, I'm thinking what we'll do is we will actually make use of that water. So let's go and do that one right away. Even though we can build what we need to build in here, I'm thinking we just block this off for now, and in terms of the top. And if the yaks get killed, then so be it. Let's just go and make this secure. So we'll just come back up the top to where we've got these two downward staircases, and we'll just go into the building, doors and hatches, the hatch. Now, I've got two available now. I'm in planning mode, so I'm just going to go and click planning mode there and there. And so that will actually then just put the hatches on, which will then secure it, which will be good. So that will actually sort of then work in that way. Nothing can really break in once we lock those. But it is a bit of a point of weakness in that particular location. This is Monkerstrap, the miner. I don't know if Monkerstrap is one of the happy ones. Where are we? Thoughts. Actually, if we just go to overview, we should see how happy they are. It's my mess. There we go. That's what they're saying. Where does it show that? We just have a bit of a look at the list of dwarves, and just go to the happiness factor. So we've got Sev, one of our military dwarves, is the most unhappy. Has been unhappy ever since we first arrived here, actually. The others, then we've got Atomic Ant is also not all that happy. Our militia commander. But the happy one is Redshirt, actually, the one who is dedicated for mining. All right, let's get this next thing established in that case. So we'll actually build our farming in here, I think. So if we go and I can set this up in different ways, and I'll just go and dig it into here and then figure out the best way through. So this is, as we saw there before, is completely full of water. Let's just go and dig in a little bit. What I want to do is I want to have maybe some, like ultimately I'm going to end up with a corridor that will then sort of move off from this location down in this direction. So I'll with a doorway there. Actually, no, I can do the doorway in the middle, and then not do it here. They can do this sort of mining. This is not a problem. So they can mine diagonally. They can walk through the rocks diagonally. So eventually, once we get all this sorted out, what we're going to be wanting to do is to have an area through here where we dig out through there. That's going to be solid rock ultimately. Then we're ultimately going to have sort of like a corner of a room through there. The room itself will then come through. So this will all be corridor back in around here. Actually, I should actually just do it in the blueprint mode. So I'll just go to blueprint mode and just go and do what ultimately is going to be done through here. So that's going to be dug in this way. So eventually, all of this will just be like a platform, which will be a nice, neat sort of way of controlling that one. We've got all the water in through here, like heaps and heaps of it, and we need to get the water and flood a room. So we're going to flood specifically the areas for the growing. And so I'm going to try to sort of do this one. I'm going to go and dig into that corner there. Then we've got the room itself will then end up being, in fact, if I draw where the room is going to be, I can then sort of figure out where I do everything else. So I'll get rid of that last bit, and then we'll sort of figure out the best way to bring that one into the actual room for flooding. Because I don't have a hell of a lot of water, I can't just blanket flood a room. I'm going to try to blanket flood the growing areas of the room itself. And so I'll probably keep them really compressed and until we sort of see what happens, and then we'll work backwards from there. So the room itself is going to be basically a largish area. Now the area in the middle, and I'll just go back away from this one through here, is I think I'll just do it like this. And I may do another couple and just see if I can actually sort of do it where we end up with, that's 4. And if I go with one more here, that's another one as well. Okay, let's go and flood this one initially. We'll do it bit by bit, I think, and figure out the best way of doing this one. The doorway into the room itself, I think I'll actually have it come in this other side. So I can grow in different areas. I can build it directly into the cavern layer itself, or I can put it on mud. And so I might as well get rid of this water and use the mud. So I'm going to come back this way. And we'll go this way. And we'll go that way. And then we'll ultimately end up with a way of getting across to this particular zone there. So let's just get this ready by digging those areas out. We'll then put a door here, and so that we can then go, if this still fills up enough with water, and I think it will, I think that will actually fill up quite nicely. I can then, even by placing the doors, I can sort of control the water a little bit coming back through. So let's just go and do that. And what we do need to do is to, oops, hang on, there we are. So he will then just go and start to mine those areas. Just press escape. Now, while we're doing all of that, let's just go back up the top to the, so we're going all the way up to the top of the fortress, where we then end up having, we've got a carpenter's shop there, and we have a mechanics workshop there. So we're just really patching things at this stage. And then we've got our stone workshop in through this other side. We're trying to make the coffin for Bjorf. That was the last thing that actually happened. Hi Klingsok, how are you going? And Caviola has watched 10 consecutive streams this month and sparked a watch streak. Thank you. Uncle Strap saying, I demand a pay rise if I'm digging underwater. Well, we'll see who gets there first. It may not be you. It may be Red Shirt. We'll see how we go. So Doc Radis on YouTube is saying, when I miss cavern layers, I tend to use prospect all and look only at the tree information. I justify by saying that the dwarves get a sense of the caverns by sensing the changes in the rock. There is no such thing as cheating in Dwarf Fortress. I'm not doing that though. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. I mean, it is. Yes, it is cheating, but it's your game. You can do what you like. I'm not the person to be. With the amount that I save scum, I'm not the person that I should be casting stones, particularly when I live in a glass house myself. I'm just saying, hi, how's life going? It's going very well, thanks, Honza. And Dr. Radis saying, Dads, I have a question. Can caravans arrive via underground roads? I wonder if they have added that feature. Yes, they can, technically. Yes, they can. I've seen it happen. I'm pretty sure. People saying, "Oh, you save scum, Dads." I don't think I've ever noticed. There we are. No, I do it very, very sneakily. I don't ever say I'm save scumming. Anyway, but yeah, technically they can, but they need to have a road. They can't just go through the. They can't just arrive through a cavern without a road that leads somewhere. So how does that work? Actually, I should show you that while we're doing this. Sorry, while we're here, just add new task. We're going to build a few more rock doors. This will then block the water a little bit. So we're going to use the doors to guide the water across. So we'll just get 3 of those built. Clinton's saying, how did Distant Worlds go yesterday? Was I right? And you came back to a dead empire. I didn't actually let it go in the end. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to start again and make sure I've got Boscara even closer. So I'm going to actually force a version. I think I'll probably do that today at some point. I'll just get it started and see how we go. So the roads, where are they? Well, if we go back into here, this is, and if we just go and center on our fort is there. So you can sort of see there that we don't actually have the. In this case, we're sort of separated away from everything else. We don't actually have a road network. We can see the road networks through here, which means that these are all connected. And so if we were in one of these dwarven hillocks, or I think even if we had it built in an area back in around here, we would actually have like a major road that would run underground. So these roads are they can be above ground as well, but they can also be underground. And so this here is the Dwarf Fortress of Shield. There should be, I'm not sure how we can see the underground roads. But yeah, there will be often there'll be, like when you sort of see clusters like this, there will be roads that will then sort of run underground. Maybe if it's only through the mountainous areas, but I can't remember exactly how it works or how you can see it. There is a way, but it's not showing up there at all with what we can sort of see with what's going on with that. But we don't have access. Like the caverns sort of run everywhere underground, but they need an underground road to then be usable. But yeah, good question. But I can't remember how to actually do that, how to show that. News and rumours. There is some goblins. So we've got a rumour from when we started where there was a they're not red there. There is actually a tower there. Maybe it's the tower that's sending a raid up this way. Not sure. Anyway, let's just click on done. Okay, so we'll get that done. We'll just go and get everything else prepared down in this bottom layer. But this will be a good little layer for us to then at least make use of the water that we actually have and then make a very secure farm. That is Munkerstrap. No, it's Redshirt. That's Redshirt digging away. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Damn. All right, so we've now found the other layer. Okay, so we've now got, we'll just click on OK and pause straight away because now this changes everything. So what we need to do now is get rid of all of this because we now have a new dynamic. And it is very, very large. So we've got a big area there. Now, what's interesting here is that then continues on down. It's a bit too much to block off, but it's quite narrow where that is. But it still goes down multiple layers until it gets down to this bottom layer here. Oh. This should be a bit more of a friendly layer than what we've got down below even further. But it now means that we've got to more look over this other side for the for what we're going to be doing. All right, well, let's come back around the other side and dig out a room this way. I think we're going to have to do it this way. So we'll dig this area out. That ultimately will be dug out through there. That will be dug out, but will be solid. Actually, it doesn't have to be. We can go into here. All right, let's do this one. Let's just go back across to do the blueprint only mode. And so if we have an area here where we end up with 3, that's going to ultimately then end up with a solid wall in around it. Then now that won't matter much. So we can do it that way. And then we can do another lot. This will be where we end up with the potentially our growing area. This one possibly will not be able to be filled. So if we end up going back this way, and then we dig through the solid wall, so we can sort of dig or even up there, then there. I'll just put those there for now. We'll come in diagonally. It just slows the water down. And we'll go that way. And then ultimately this could be the way in. but I don't want to go in that way straight away. So let's just go and start to dig out the area that we want. Well, actually, I can go there. I can go there. I don't want this. It's going to be solid. I'll just make this into a doorway that comes off this corridor into here. So if we dig that, initially we'll dig this one, and then we'll figure out what to do with it, and just see how deep the water ends up being. And so what we'll do is we'll end up digging there. We'll end up with a, you know, I'm going to actually dig that there, and then this here as well. And I think I'll get rid of the back area, just so that way I've got a little bit more water to play with. That will sort of do us, I think. We'll just go straight into the farming area. So we'll put a door there, a door. No, I'll just put a door there. That's the only one I'm going to put a door in initially. Actually, what I'll do is I will dig straight up this way, put a door in there, and not dig this way. Yeah, so I'll just go and keep that one solid. So we'll go that way and start to dig. Get rid of the blueprint mode. And we'll just ditch that other one there. So eventually what we'll do is, if this fills up effectively, what I could even do is just dig another way through here. Yeah, so we'll snake it so the water comes out this way, floods, and just see if there's enough to flood this area as well. Yeah, so one water dries itself. Yeah, so once we get down to one, two, three, yeah, we've got about 10 in there, but hopefully that'll be enough to push it all through. We'll see how we go. So yes, how do you drain water after you're flooding? That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to spread it out through here and then make this into a growing area. I mean, we're right here anyway, but this is quite big. Now, one thing we don't actually have is, because Dwarf got killed, if we go to the labour menu, woodcutters, we don't actually have anyone designated to do woodcutting. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make the woodcutter Monkastrap, I think. Actually, no, I've got Cause Lord. I'm going to have to make Cause Lord this particular role, the expedition leader, even though it's also the doctor. Very poor doctor, but the doctor nonetheless. So yeah, mostly in mountains, says Dr. Artis, yeah, talking about the underground roads. Yes, it should work. Certainly I've seen them leave that way. I can't exactly remember them arriving that way, but I know that they can leave through the underground caverns. Yeah, so that's definitely something that they can do. All right, let's get this one dug out. Now, one thing we're going to need to do here is to just block this off for now as well. Just go back into the constructions, walls, and just block a wall off there. I've still got planning mode on. Now, why is Redshirt on the ground? Sleeping. Okay. Going to sleep. We've got a pretty poor fortress at this stage. Here we are. That's good. This is now blocked off. Wow, we only just missed this cavern. We now have both of these secure, which is good. Here we go. Back to work. So we want a door here and a door here. Actually, we don't want a door there yet. We want a door here, just here. That's the only one where we need a door. Doors and hatches. Yeah, we discovered it. Okay, we discovered a downward passage. Now, I'm not sure when we discovered this. Oh, this was actually, yeah, we found this one last week. So that's nothing we need to worry about. Let's come back up the top here again. So we have to start to sort of prepare our... Oh my God, what's this? A giant cave swallow. What's it doing? We're clumsy. I don't think it's going to do anything. It's just flying through. It's not considered dangerous, but somehow it has flown in from the bottom. So we've got, and that's a giant creature, which has come from a savage land. It's not a zombie one. Here it comes. It's just flying around inside the actual weak, clumsy, low stamina. I don't know what it's doing. It's just flying around. We'll see if anyone gets freaked out by it. There it goes again. It's freaked out by red shirt. It's trying to escape. All right, we now have where we want to have everything. We've got the door here, which so that we can then lock that off, so we don't get any water rushing into this other side. We want to do it diagonally, just so that we've got a little bit of a controlled block in through this other side. It won't matter about the rocks. The water will do what it has to do in through there. So let's just see what happens here. So if we go and open up this area here. So we'll just go back into the mining operation and dig that one out. Now the water comes flooding in. So red shirt will now run away from the water, and then we lock this door. So that's now forbidden, and that's going to stop the water from coming out this way. So the water will now flood this area, and hopefully it's enough. If it's not enough, we'll just dig another area in and build another little area. But I think it will be enough. So it's now flooding out of this zone. That's good. This has all been covered. Will it be enough to cover all of this? It's slowly seeping across. It's not quite enough for this area here, but we've got at least two good growing areas. There we go. We're getting every single one of these will ultimately end up with mud in it. So you can see there that we're pretty much now to the bottom layer of this is slowly seeping in. This is good. Almost got everything we need. There we are. With just two more little areas, please, and then we should have a dusting of mud everywhere. And you can see it's now starting to. This is a small pile of mud, and this is now completely wet, and it's level 1, and so this will now evaporate and become useful for us. This will be now usable area for us to be able to then use for growing. So that works out very, very well. I'm really quite happy with that. So that's good. Okay, let's now go down. Oh, we've got a plump helmet man. We saw him before, actually. So he's wandered in. He's bad with words, but he is gregarious. He's ungrateful. He's slow to hate and not lustful at all. There we are. So he's actually wandered in from the... Oh, luckily, there's a troll that's just on the outside. Now, it's funny because it's not showing the that we actually have a dangerous creature here. But this is an animal. It's not actually it's not a malicious being. It's an animal, but it's an animal that could destroy the fortress. So this is a bit of a problem. Actually, we have water here as well. Wow, so we did find water ultimately, and water, well, that's our water. Just looking at the blue there. So, well, we've got our well anyway, so we don't really need a second source of water in through this other side. But I'm glad that we blocked that off, because if that troll had have got inside, that could have been quite disastrous. That's stronger than what our military would be at this stage. It's raining goo outside again. And we're stuck at red spinel. All right, so that's that is fine where we are there. We can just leave that one where that is. Now, I guess what we should do is start to sort of figure out what to build. We do have to be a bit careful with a lot of what we actually have here. And once we've got all that sorted, yeah, we're going to be able to. Yeah, so we've got the dusting of mud in through this other side. Not that it matters much. A conglomerate coffin there. So Cause Lord. Not sure why that's been blocked. Item blocking site, and the item happens to be Bjolf, I think. I'll just try it again. No, it's Bjolf is blocking the site. Here comes the plump helmet man to say hi and spread good cheer amongst the fortress. We haven't got everything out from in from outside yet. What I might do is I might just extend the stockpile itself a little bit down this way, just to try to get the stuff that's still outside. I might, now that we've got wood as well, just view the stockpile and turn wood off. So we'll sort of just get rid of those things there. Carpentry workshop, I'll just go and, have we got more beds? I sort of just want to, I'm going to need to, now that we've actually got to the middle area of the fortress, we can come back up towards the top of the fortress and start to build what we need to build further up, because there shouldn't be any more aquifers in here. So you can see there the goo is now spreading even more, and ultimately this is going to be where we end up with our actual entry, but not for a little while. So I'll build to this zone here. So we're just going to go back across into the digging menu. We're going to go from blueprint down to standard. So I might as well just go and get all of this now done. So as we sort of come back down into this zone, so we do actually have a clean zone there. And then we were fine there. Whoops, I just right clicked. Just do that again. So we don't want to be doing this top layer. We don't want to really be doing the second layer down, because it is a bit weak going from the top down. Even though there's no trees, it's safe enough, but I will just start here. I'll dig it to there. That way we'll end up with all up downstairs and like a bit of an entrance, and so we can start to now make use of what we find into here. This layer here will ultimately be probably for military. Then we'll come down a bit further. I might make this the hall, even at this point in through this other side, the main meeting hall. So we'll keep that to the fairly high up. Now there was a request that we actually start to do things a bit more unusually with the layouts of the actual parts of the fortress. Now the main meeting hall, we don't need to worry about it too much. What I can do is I can just start to dig the zones, and again I can just use the blueprint mode just to establish a layout for our fortress. And I'll just come back up again to this layer here, and also just start to dig out where we'll end up with a central area. But this is going to be where our military will be positioned to start with. So I think what I'll do is I'll have the main staircases sort of run off to the actually, I might even make them 3 wide as a standard, because I normally just make them 2 wide. Let's just start heading down this way, and then we'll start to build like maybe sort of like say 7x7s for the military. Just go that way, and I'll just make square rooms for the military. So we'll only make the unusual rooms into something a bit more different. So if one hits a redeemed character. So I've got a fair few for when they do come up. No Admiral, please, says von Schweinert. There we go. So you're saying I understand a little about this weird this weird game, but must be fun to be part of. It is fun actually, and so as we get, I've got a list that I'm going through. I've got about 4 more names, but we'll get a lot of we'll get a fair few different people coming through. I'll just leave that one there. This will be the barracks. As we come back down, let's make this into the almost like the guest area. So we'll just come back down again. We'll build our main hall off to the south. Now what I can do is I can use DF hack, I think, to build different different shape forts, I think, but I haven't really ever bothered with it. Like it'll build circles. Not that I don't need it to do it as such. Maybe we'll just do our own sort of shape. So let's go and build like a something that's going to be that wide initially, and then we'll start to sort of dig it. So if we have a central area down through there, tables, tables, chairs, chairs, and so we'll end up coming a little bit further this way, and then we'll start to sort of plan the overall look. And so it'll ultimately be quite a long one, but we don't need a long area to start with. So if we go and actually, one thing we do need on this layer is is to be able to get. In fact, what I'll think I'll do is, I'll have to have it coming off the side. I'll dig another largish room off the side, which will be for our lever room. I'll do it as a 10 by 10. That will ultimately be quite important once we start to sort of get levers and things. Let's go and start to dig this into this sort of shape. And then we'll ultimately sort of just allow, and then we'll do. I'll stick it down to here. And I think I'll start to dig this. Actually, we can plan the whole thing out because we're just using this sort of mode. So let's make our hall quite large. We'll have pillars in the middle there. So too wide, that goes full there. All right, so this will be our meeting chamber there, ultimately. And so what we'll do is we'll start to, well, actually, I'll just get them to dig bit by bit with what we actually do need. If we want funky room shapes, then every room should be the Dwarf Fortress icon shape. Not going to happen. I'm sorry, not going to happen. But I'll still make some rooms just have to be clean. Like the lever room has to be sort of fairly like this. We can do the hospital somewhere a bit different as well. So maybe we'll come down to the next layer. This will be our hospital layer. So let's go and do that. Now the hospital layer is a very, very dangerous room for us. So we want to have at least two going in, one for a door and one for a block. If we end up with werewolves, we're going to need to sort of then handle those a bit differently. Let's have a 3 wide corridor that runs through the middle. In fact, let's have it a little bit more different. Let's have a largish area like this. We need 2 by 3s is the size that you need for the actual for the ward rooms. So let's have a main area through here with a corridor that runs off on either side with the 2 by 3 rooms. Now you can put all the rooms together as one, but again, if you end up with zombies or were creatures, something like that, you're going to end up in trouble. So we'll actually build our real hospital here. In bit. Oops. And we can even build further down this way as well. I'm thinking just in case we need it, like ultimately for a large fortress, we could dig even further down. Just plan it all out before we get started. So this could be like, for the future, we don't have to build all of this in one go. We just build it as required. With the each of the actual rooms. So very large very large hospital area that we'll then be able to sort of look after the different dwarves. Now, it's a fair way down to the well, unfortunately. So we may look at doing something here with a well. You want it relatively close to the well, to the water source. Is it that far? It's not that far. It's only a few layers down. So it's not terrible. Actually, there's actually more aquifer. There's aquifer on this layer here. And as we're going up the hill, we may find it on the layer above. But I think we're still actually okay here. Well, let's make this sort of like the. We should also have like taverns and things, and I'm thinking we maybe keep them on this layer as well, and maybe even the various temples. Anyway, we'll come back to that one as required. Then maybe we go back past all the aquifers, which are starting on these layers. So I could, yeah, I think that's going to be a bit dangerous to build those layers there, but we could actually just have our bedroom layer down below even further now. So let's keep on digging down into these layers here. We've got aquifer there. This is a bit unsafe for us to make use of. So this one here we can make into a bedroom layer. Now we've got a down, like that finishes at this location, so I want that to be an up-down stair as well. Just go to the stairs, just go above it, start there, and just work our way through. Yep, so it's going to become an up-down stair. So that'll be okay. In fact, I might just now make that into real. So I'll dig that, and then we'll make this into the actual bedroom layer. The first of the actual... actually, we don't have a workshop layer. Should really make that into the workshop layer, I think. And then we've still got a few more layers before we start to hit this bottom layer. Or, no, let's make the workshops even deeper. We'll make the workshops deeper into the fortress than what I normally do. So we'll make this into a bedroom layer. And again, what we want to do is we want to have, again, it doesn't really matter about the width of the corridors. Let's make them 3 wide. And initially I just want to have 2x2s is enough for dwarves. In fact, even 3x1s will be okay. Let's just make them 2x2s. So this is pretty standard, isn't it, from what I normally do. Corridor that runs through. Let's make it, say, 5 on each side. Let's get started. As we get more dwarves in, we'll just dig more bedrooms. All right, and this is fairly important, so we'll just go now and unlock this. So we'll start there. Okay, that'll do us. Let's just unpause. We'll need to get these workshops set up as well. And we're probably going to need ultimately 2 layers of bedrooms. So that will be bedroom as well. Which means that this area here, I might make this into my workshops. In fact, this is really important. And I'll move them off to the south. I'll just make them 4x4s again for these rooms in through here. Now we do need to have a storage area, which I could make use of that area, I guess. Could go above with the storage. Might go above and below actually. So what we'll do is we'll just put the where the doorways are going to come through, which is going to be on this side. Just make them 4x4s in here as well. So I might plan out a lot of these different zones. But we'll put a stairwell up and down to make different types of storage. So we'll just go and dig a stairwell. And so we'll just go in the middle of where all of these different things are. So we'll start above and then go down below. Actually, I forgot the doors there. The reason we do this is that if we end up with dwarves that claim a workshop and then can't finish what they do, they're going to die in it, and they'll come back as zombies. So we do have to protect the rooms, essentially. So I'll just get those done. And so this will be then storage, and I think I'll just make this big area underneath here as into the raw materials. So we'll start to sort of dig these out as well. We can dig all the way up to there. Won't make it too big at this stage. That'll do. All right, unpause. Now, Dwarf is going to start to go rotten fairly soon. We should really try to sort that out before the miasma hits. Now, we don't actually have a dump zone, and we will need one. Where should we put it? This is currently our meeting hall. We've got a meeting area there. Then we'll put the turkeys there for now. I've got nowhere to really put a dumping zone at this stage. So I think I'll just have to leave it for a little while. That's going to be our hospital layer. We'll come back for that one. Oh, 6 thieving or mysterious creatures have arrived. All right, so we've actually got a bit of a problem now inside the fortress. These have wandered in. Now there's 6 of them. So there's these are Drunians, 10 years old, recovers quickly, sickly, low stamina. Now it says didn't feel anything while in conflict. We didn't actually have any conflict, so I don't know what they're conflicting. So we have been like, these are sort of like caveman type creatures. Drunians, terrified while in conflict. So these ones, we're going to be able to chase them through. They're not really going to be a big problem for us. This is now starting to leave mud behind, which is great. We will need to get this sorted out fairly soon as well. Now that this only got one, let's deal with all of these first of all. So they're coming down here, causing an issue. This one's outside. That one's still outside. All right, time to lock these. I should have done that before. So we'll forbid those just so that they can't get back in. And then we've got the ones that are in here will now have to be hunted down. So it's time to destroy these. We'll get our squad The magical murder. Okay, let's get them active here. And we'll go and tell them to go and kill this creature. Confirm. So kill the Drunian, and we'll just go through Drunian by Drunian. And we will need to find an area where we can dump all this stuff. We know they've got the troll outside, which is going to be too difficult for us. Have another look at see what else there is around the place. We've got a Gorlak outside here. Giant crows. They'll be up in the oh, they're in the cabin as well. That's no, they're not. No, that's not. Sorry, that's they're outside. So we have to be not careful of those, but they are they could be a problem. A blind cave ogre is on that layer, unfortunately, which is the layer that we actually have our yaks on. Jeez, we bring the yaks inside now. I really need to secure the underground. All right, so we don't have enough dwarves to really do much. Damn! This is going to be hard. All right. Anyway, we have to just get rid of these other creatures. There's lots of them. What else do we have? We've got the Drunians are the last of them. All right, so we've got the ones inside the fortress. Let's just go back and just see what actually happens here. Actually, what we'll do is we'll find it. There it is there. That's the target. We'll just follow it around until we end up with Supreme Plague has become a Spear Dwarf. It's going to get freaked out. So it's going up and down the Z layers on the staircase. It's now terrified while in conflict, and here we go. We now actually have combat. So Drunian is fighting, Hammer Dwarf Sev is fighting, and the Mace Dwarf Atomic Ant is fighting. So we've got the two dwarves are here, one is on the ground, and so there is actually a combat going on this particular side, and we've got Drunian blood backing through this other side. So let's have a look and see what's going on. Maybe from the perspective of this Drunian initially, it's bleeding heavily already, and we can just sort of see what actually happened here. So it came charging up. It attacked us. So the Drunian misses the Hammer Dwarf. The Hammer Dwarf bashes the Drunian in the left rear foot, fracturing the bone. Misses the Hammer Dwarf again. Bashes the Drunian in the right rear foot with a copper warhammer, bruising the fat. Misses again. Bashes the Drunian in the left foot with a copper hammer, bruising the fat again. So this is all the Hammer Dwarf, and I forget who the Hammer Dwarf actually is. I think it's... yeah, I can't remember. Hammer Dwarf attacks the Drunian, but he jumps away. Militia Commander, this is Atomic Ant, bites the Drunian in the left front foot. So who are we dealing with here? We've got Atomic Ant and Sev. So Sev is the Hammer Dwarf, and Atomic Ant is the Militia Commander. So we'll just go back in again and look at it again from here. Misses, and then the Militia Commander basically has grabbed the Drunian. An artery in the left foot has been opened up in the attack. This is why it's now bleeding. So this was, yeah, the Militia Commander is shaking it around by the foot. Bashes it in the, yeah, so it's now bashing it in the ribs. Yeah, so it's now smashing it. This thing won't be alive for very long. I'm pretty sure that we won't butcher these. But these are now going to come back as zombies. No, maybe they won't. Let's read a few more of the comments. Sorry, guys, I have missed a bit of the chat here, so I'll just go through the chat. Yeah, we've done the caravans arriving underground. Joe Newell saying, Dazzy, you were the inspiration for me to get this game months ago. So much fun. It's a great game. It's a really, you don't know what's going to happen. This is what's great about it. And also the world is completely random. So Muzzle Paint saying, how Daz, what horror happened? Did Distant Worlds 2 collapse into a medieval bunker? No, I ended up, I'm going to start again with Distant Worlds 2. Doc Radis is saying, well, hospitals all have 3x1 rooms with a table bed traction bench in a line and then one opening and a bed, yeah, so that you can just wall up the, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're doing a, I'm going to keep doors and active for the... Actually, maybe I should change that, you know, and have it, like, do the same thing again, just so I can actually block it in. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I might have to make them too wide, like the doorway, just so we can actually use a block to actually wall it in. Because if it is a were creature, they can break open doors. If Bert's saying, hi Daz, just tuned in. What happened to our seventh dwarf? Got scratched by a zombie marmot, believe it or not, and had slight bleeding. And the slight bleeding, in my wisdom, because it was injured, I then created a hospital without actually having a water source. So we've got no water source. They couldn't clean the wound, and so Bjolf died, and then came back as a zombie, and then had to be killed again. The gift that keeps on giving. And we're going to have the same problem here potentially with these sort of cave creatures. So, and if we have a look at on Twitch, we've got how do you drain the water after you've flooded it, which we've done. I think we've done that one through there. Syrian saying, I stepped away for a moment. Did we lose it? We lost a dwarf last week. At the end of the session last week, Bjolf came back as a zombie. Hope it wasn't me. Yep, well, that was the metalsmith. Probably still am. No, we've started a new fortress. This is a brand new fortress as of last week. White Apple Dragon saying clowns already. There we are. And Incognito saying, was that a restart? Yes, it is. For the simple reason that we ran out of population. We weren't going to get any more people coming in. So we wanted to make sure that we started with a population that would actually work for us. So we started last week again. It explains the 6 pop. Yep. And so Syrian's saying to Incognito, a couple in the last week. The first Fortress Friday, Deserts of Doom, we had a failed civilization. No one was coming to the fort. So it was abandoned. Another start happened with a reclaimed mountain home, but it was too easy. And now we've got a new start. Yeah. So this is the third start that we've got. But this is going to be hard. We've got a reanimating biome. We've got zombies. We've got all sorts of stuff. So it's going to be a difficult time, I think. And we can see there we've got lots of creatures now wandering in as well that we now have to use our militia to destroy. Anyway, this thing is basically going to be dead. So what I'll do is and we can see they're all sort of now coming back up through this one. This one, we're going to have to chase these down through. This is the target. Let's just move across. So this is actually the main way through. Here comes Supreme Plague, the Spear Dwarf. But the other two dwarves are fighting in here. Now, one of the dwarves has fallen on the ground. And I'm not sure who it is. I don't know why every second shot it works. Yeah, that one's actually okay. Militia Commander charged the... this is the corpse. This is the other corpse when we were killing the marmots off. Let's just go and press the full stop or the period key and just to step our way through until we get a kill. It's on the ground again. Jump backwards, jumped in, fighting again. The others are coming forward. So this thing is not going to be alive for very much longer. Now have 8 thieving or mischievous creatures. Okay, that one's now dead. So we can have a quick look and see what actually happened there with the final blow. Okay, Copper Mace lodged firmly in the mission commander bashes the Drinian in the head with a copper mace, and the injured part explodes into gore. That won't come back as a zombie. So I just want to see how they get killed, because that's now a safe corpse, but the others aren't. Now we still have got the mission to kill the other Drinian. The other Drinian has now run back through the fortress again. This is not the target. The target will be in this one here is the target. So as we find the others, we'll end up killing them as well. Let's go with Atomic Ant and follow Atomic Ant down through the fortress. Hang on, we've got no job. We need to kill that Drinian. Oh, that one died. Mangled corpse. Who killed that? Munkerstrap. All right, what happened here? What happened with Munkerstrap? So the Drunian is actually attacking the Miner. The Miner scratches the Drunian in the left foot, tearing the muscle. Artery's been opened. The force twists the front leg. Using its copper pick, it's fractured the bone. Cannot stand by. This might require an answer. Misses the Miner. Strikes the Drunian in the upper body with the copper pick, and the injured part is cloven asunder. An artery has been opened in the attack. A tendon in the middle spine has been torn. Punches the Drunian in the left front leg, and it's then sort of so that one then goes through. All right, let's go back to. We've got two more Drunians. We've got three Drunians that are fighting. This one here will be the one that gets killed with the copper mace. Then we've got Sev and Atomic Ant were then fighting. The Drunian that we see through here is still fighting, I think. Although its spine has been torn, a tendon in the middle spine has been torn. So it still should be alive, that one, I think. But yeah, good old Munkerstrap is going crazy here. And then we've got so the Drunian is fighting there. Munkerstrap was then fighting. And we have another Drunian fighting here. So, okay, no, it must be the other one, the one with the spine. It must have bled to death, or something happened to it. This one will come back as a zombie, I think. So we have to be careful of that one because we didn't destroy the brain. And so the Drunian misses the Miner back in this other side. That's okay. And so the Miner, which is Munkerstrap, punches the Drunian in the left front leg with his right hand, but the attack lances away. So Munkerstrap actually killed the target, but we still got one more Drunian. Where the hell is it? I'm not seeing it. Let's go through them all. There's one running away, or trying to run away. There's one on the staircase, but can't get up any further. And then there's a few, and there's another one here. Oh, and there's Munkerstrap. Here we go. So it's a long way down. They're actually a long way down, and Munkerstrap is on the ground. So Munkerstrap has fallen over. So this particular Drunian we need to kill off. So we're going to go back in and give our military an order to go and kill the Drunian here. But let's just see what actually happens here. We'll go from Munkerstrap's perspective, I think. Oh, hang on. How many Drunians are there? Only the one. I thought there was multiple. I'm not sure why it won't remember this. Okay, so the Drunian misses the Miner. Let's just unpause. Oh, I forgot to pause this. Sorry, it's... yeah, the Miner bashes the Drunian in the head with the copper pick and it's cloven asunder. This one won't come back to life. Okay, Munkerstrap saying, has the tide turned? I laugh in the face of death. So Munkerstrap is doing very, very well. We'll have to remember this. Munkerstrap could definitely be added to our list of militia for the actual fortress. Munkerstrap saying, I want my tombstone to say, I blame goo. I can feel a ban in my future. I can too. I think that you are a little bit too gun happy with your pick, but you've done well there. You've actually now you've destroyed its brain. So that's a good start. Yeah, it cancels its own digging because of what actually happened through here. So actually, Munkerstrap did a great. That was really good of Munkerstrap to do this one. Completely healthy, no problem at all. And I think that's all the Drunians from inside the fortress. I only got 4 left of them. No, I've still got this one here. All right, so that's going to be the one that we have to now go after. So we'll confirm that with the military, and we'll just go and follow this one around. It's now going past all the other dead things. There's a bit of guts over this, and this one's overcome by terror. It's in pain. It is bleeding heavily. Oh, here we go. So the others are now fighting this one as well. So looks like everyone. And Munkerstrap's back in there again. It's Munkerstrap's still doing this. Munkerstrap fell over. So he's just swinging wildly in the staircase against these things. So that's where it killed it. It punches the next journey in this last one in the left hand, bruising the muscle. He fell over but stood up again. Punches the journey in the right front leg. Okay, let's go back out and have a look. So if we have a look at it from the Drunian's perspective, it's now bleeding heavily, and we can just see what its journey is. So this is its journey. The miner. So it's come across Munkerstrap yet again. Punches the Drunian in the left leg with the bruising the muscle. Right leg bruising the muscle. Strikes the Drunian in the lower body with the copper pick, tearing apart the muscle and spilling her guts. So guts has now been sort of spilt all over the place. An artery has been opened in the attack. The miner strikes the Drunian in the lower body with his copper pick, tearing apart the muscle and tearing apart the stomach. Now, we need kills in the head to be able to make sure that everything is actually okay. And we'll have to send our military back up to be ready for when the one that wasn't killed properly comes back as a zombie, or if it does come back as a zombie. Now we do actually have this one set for pausing, so I can just go and step through. The miner again, so Munkerstrap's it tears apart the muscle in the right leg. An artery has been opened in the attack. The Durian gives into the pain, so it's now unconscious. Falls over. The miner strikes the Durian in the head, tearing apart the muscle, fracturing the skull. Force bends the neck. It's still not enough. And we'll just unpause this one. Now the hammer dwarf has now arrived. So this is Sev. Bashes the Drunian in the head. The injured part explodes into gore. So an artery has been opened in the attack. So that's, I think we've got one that is now a concern with what we actually have through here. Got one injured citizen. Who was that? Oh no. Oh no. Munkerstrap. Now, we don't want to lose Munkerstrap. We didn't want to lose Bjolf, but we lost Bjolf. But we do have... we'll have to just see what actually happens in through here. Durian misses. Durian bites the miner in the left lower leg, tearing the fat and bruising the muscle through the llama wool trousers. Latches on firmly. This is what happened to Munkerstrap. And this is where it's actually smashing it again. And this is early on. Bites the miner in the lower body, tearing the fat through the pigtail, tunic. Let's just go back further and see if we can find anything. No, it is that early one. It's the early one that's caused the issue. So he didn't get attacked anywhere else. So that was the only ones. Yeah, there's the lower body. Yeah, tearing apart the stomach, and it did get lodged in the wound this time. Miner gains possession of the copper pick. I feel like illustrating these when we get these sorts of fights, because this is quite funny, having a miner just going crazy on the stairwell. Like we got like mud all over the place. We got these Drunian sort of all over the area as well. But yeah, it's the bites in the lower leg, tearing the. So it's a damage in the lower leg. So what's going to happen here is with the injured citizen, hopefully Causelord does a better job this time than what happened last time. So this is important. This is our mechanic as well, and our mason, novice appraiser. This is ultimately going to be our like in charge of the brokerage of the fortress, I think. So we've got a little bit of work to do here. Got a lot of work to, like, this one is quite important. So we've only got the 6 left at this point in time. So so easily broken, begone fear, says Munkerstrap. Yeah, dabbling army user discipline. Yeah, so we do have a little bit. Ultimately, this one's not too bad, but yeah, without any. If we go to the health and look at wounds, we haven't been evaluated yet. Go to description. So he's almost never sick, but he's slow to heal and flimsy. His left lower leg is cut open. His left lower leg is bruised, and his lower body is cut open. So just the bite marks. So what will happen here is if we just go and follow Munkerstrap, he's now going back to rest. So if we just go back to the overview and just follow him through the fortress, he'll now go back up to our makeshift hospital, and then hopefully Causelord will do his job. He's going to walk past all of these. And Cause Lord is coming straight over to check him out. He's now unconscious but injured. And if we have a look at the health, the wounds, no evaluated wounds, and so diagnosis is required. I'll just step through this because this is quite interesting. So we have diagnosis is required. The hospital, let's start at the start in case people are sort of wondering how things work in Dwarf Fortress. So when we have an injured creature like this, if we've got a hospital, it will go to the hospital. A hospital is a zone, and so this is a hospital zone that we have in here. And so we just we made a makeshift one to try to fix up Bjolf, but it didn't work. So, but we are a little bit better than what we were previously. Now, one thing we haven't done is we haven't built a coffer in here. So if we go and have a look at the actual at the hospital zone itself, the hospital's got a couple of beds in it, so I've just put them in. I don't have an operating table. These are very, very minor wounds. This shouldn't really be any great anything great for us. If I go and click on the hospital itself, this is one just happens to be called the Walled House, just a random name. Okay, so F. Berger is saying, hey, Daz, I just tuned in. What happened to our 7th Dwarf? That's Bjolf there. Bjolf got scratched about the same degree of injury as Munkerstrap is. But we didn't have a well. And so I'll go through and bit by bit as to what's happening here. So we've got the hospital. If we go back and have a look at this, see the details of this location. When you build a hospital, you start off by building a meeting area. So it becomes a meeting area, then you change it into a hospital by assigning a new existing location to it. So we change that to a hospital, and then we actually have different things that have to be put in the hospital. If we have a look at this one through here, you can see we've got 2 beds in the hospital in through this other side. We've got Cause Lord is our doctor, and so Cause Lord, that's Cause Lord's job. We don't need anything else, just Cause Lord. Cause Lord will be everything. A doctor does diagnostician, surgeon, and bone doctor. So you can have designated people for these roles, or you can just have a general doctor. In this case, Cause Lord is a very poor doctor, as he didn't save Bjolf, but Cause Lord is the one essentially doing this one through here. Now you'll see through here that we have beds in the common area too. We don't have any tables in here, and we don't have any traction benches. So we maybe should try to get at least a table, and the table is for the surgeon, for surgery. So if we need, it's like an operating table. So I think I will put a couple of tables in here as well. We then need chests, and the chests then need to hold thread, cloth, splints, crutches, powder, buckets, and soap. And we don't actually have any of these things. Well, we've got them in the fortress, but not in the hospital. So we did go and build a chest, I think. I was building this before and then didn't actually do anything with it. There's a chest there. So I've built a chest or a coffer. And so I just need to now go and place that in there. So let's just go and do that now. This will be under furniture. Just go across to the chests. I'll just hide the planner. So I'll just go and place a chest there in the hospital area. We've got mudstone coffers, only got one of them, so that will then become. This will then be for the for the dwarf itself. Now, Cause Lord, if we go back and click on Cause Lord, is diagnosing the patient, and so Cause Lord has come across to make the diagnosis. And you can see down through there, novice diagnostician, novice surgeon is what we actually have, novice wound dresser. And so that's what we're starting off with. And so Cause Lord's saying, I'm feeling good, even though Cause Lord did actually ultimately sort of be the reason that Bjolf died. So the diagnosis will be done, and I'll just unpause slightly until... Now, see how she's now wandered off? She's now going to conduct a meeting because she's also in charge of everything. If we go and have a look at this at Munkerstrap, Munkerstrap is still at rest. If we now go to health again, go to wounds, we now have done the diagnosis. So we've got the wounds are his left lower leg, the skin is cut open, the fat is cut open, and the muscle has light bruising. In his lower body, the skin has been cut open and the fat has been cut open through the teeth marks. So this is the actual diagnosis now of what's happened to Munkerstrap. The treatment required is we need cleaning on the actual to clean the wounds. Now, any of the dwarves can do the cleaning, and so they will come and start to do this one. He needs sutures, which means we need thread, and he needs dressing, which means we need cloth. So that's all that we end up having. So lower body requires that, and the same deal for the left lower leg. Now, as we see other like we've got Sev is now coming in to attend that meeting. We'll just see if as soon as anyone starts to arrive. Here we go. Is someone going off to do something? Let's go and have a look and see. If we have a look and see what the dwarves are up to. Yeah, so see how Supreme Plague is going off to clean the wound. And so Supreme Plague is going to ultimately, or maybe even going to clean himself. I think it would be to try to clean the, to go and clean, but he'll go up to where the other things are. Now, both of these had their heads cloven. I think we'll wait until we end up with a zombie, one of these guys, before we start to come back. I think it's this one that will come. No, it's not that one. It's one of the ones on here. Now, if we end up with one of these coming back as a zombie, we're going to have to react very, very quickly. So Sev will ultimately come up the stairwell. Oh, Atomic Ant is going to go and clean the patient. So at the moment, this Sev is storing items. Cause Lord has got no job. And Munker Strap is resting. But we'll find that Atomic Ant will now go over. Atomic Ant will have a bucket, by the way. Hauling a pecan wood bucket is what it's actually doing. And then we'll see this thing will then start to be used. And so he'll then use that, and we'll start to now see the rope going down. The water will then splash into this water. There's the bucket. And so it will then fill up with water, and it will then be raised back up again. There it goes. Coming back up. He's now got a bucket of the pecan wood bucket. If we go back to the items, we have a pecan wood bucket full of water. So we've got lots of water in the actual bucket itself. So Atomic Ant will then sort of move across and has now washed the blood off. So the blood has now gone from there. So we've got a pool of Drunian blood and a spattering of Munker Strap's dwarven blood as well. So Munker Strap, sorry, I should have shown this before. Munker Strap, if we have a look at his items, has now got water covering it, but it was covered in blood originally. So that's now all been cleaned off. So we no longer have blood and stuff everywhere. Actually, let's just go back into here. We need tables. Add new task. Where's tables? Just get a couple of tables. So that's what's happened there. So it's now been cleaned. You'll see there's a bucket left there as well. And so next we have to do, just wait until that one's now disappeared. Cause Lord is now going off to suture. So even though there's nothing in here, oh yes there is, there's cloth and thread. So we do have a bit of cloth and thread and you see how that's been now allocated, it's going to be picked up. So the thread is going to be picked up for the suturing. And so that should be, Cause Lord should pick up the thread. And this is the bandaging. And so the thread will then be picked up and taken across. If you have a look at the health again, you don't need to know all this stuff, but this is now the treatment. So the cleaning has now been done. Now it just needs suturing in both positions. So if we have a look back in there, the thread is now gone, and Cause Lord is now suturing Munker Strap. So Munker Strap is still unconscious and injured. And if we look at health, treatment, so needs sutures. Now it's done the suturing. Where's Cause Lord gone to? Still suturing. Okay, so we have a look at Munker Strap again. It may be halfway through the suturing. Yep, so the lower body just needs dressing now, and it's just sutures in the lower leg. So Cause Lord has gone back to get more thread to then continue with the suturing. I keep on looking down to see if there's a zombie that appears. Cause Lord is now going off to dress the wound. So we now actually have the suturing has now been done. If we have a look at the items, sorry, if we look at the health again, treatment just needs dressings, so just needs some bandaging. If we have a look at the items on Munkerstrap, what we'll see is we've got we've got a little bit of thread sewn into the lower body, sewn into the left lower leg. So this is now part of the items carried around by Munkerstrap, and so Munkerstrap now has the sutures. It's just going so now Cause Lord is dressing the wound. Going back to get it again, dress the second wound. So if we go back to Munkerstrap again, look at the treatment. So just the left lower leg now needs the dressing. So if we look at items, we now have pigtail cloth is wrapped around his lower body just to sort of keep the sutures in place. Goes and does the next lot of suturing. And so at this point in time, Dr. Causelord has now done everything that he needs to do, or she needs to do. Munkerstrap is now injured but at rest, and now has two pieces of cloth, one around the left lower leg, one around the lower body, and suturing. And so, and if we have a look at the health, no health problems. The wounds are still there. The treatment, no treatment schedule, job done. And so now it's just rest and recuperation. So, yeah, thank you, Dwarf NHS, says Munkerstrap. There we go. So we've actually, this is what we couldn't do, and what we couldn't do with Beowulf was, we could have done all of that, except that we didn't have a well built. We had no source of water. Now, these are, we're going to need to get rid of this stuff. We really need to have like a dumping area. I'm not sure where I want to place that either. The cheaty way would be for me to build it on this side of the map where things don't reanimate. Now the peasants fighting. That was previous. I don't think it was more of it. I don't know if this is the zombie. Bashes Adrenian in the head. I don't remember that bit of it. I mean, I know that we had a few of those. It doesn't say the Drinian corpse, so I don't think that that's anything. Let's just get rid of all of this. Just we're going to clean one. Now these should both be outside. Yeah, they're both outside. Unfortunately, they are where we've got our other creatures. Yeah, we've got the giant olm there. All right, let's just go back up. We've locked off that bottom layer. This is sort of going fairly nicely in here. I'm going to, this one shouldn't really open anything else back up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and remove this door, because we can now go and you know, that's the bottom layer. Let's just go in and yeah, so they're now just back to the normal routine, which is fine. So we'll just go and leave them where they are. Just come back across. Can't open all this up. So we'll make all of this go like this. Yeah, I think, God, do we open this one right up? No, I think we'll be okay. I mean, it won't matter if they sort of do different things. Let's go and start to make our farming area now. So I'm going to have essentially 6 different farms. So so we'll just go in and start to build these up. So these are going to be set up in the is it the farmer's workshop? I think if we go to workshops. Go to farming, and then we actually have the farm plots. Now the farm plots can't be built on, see how it says needs soil or mud at location? And so we have the mud through here. And so we can just keep on going and setting up that zone there. That's one of them. Actually, I'll just have to keep it going. So we'll just go back to workshops, farming, farm plot, and I'll just keep on building afterwards. So we can go out here. I can build them out this way. But they need to be in mud. All right, that's good. Now I'm hoping that everyone else will just come in and do their thing. Yeah, so they're starting to now get everything ready. The farm plots are being established. That one had nowhere to go. We need to get the miners down. So Munkerstrap needs to ultimately come back down. So we are sort of slowly building everything that we need. Yeah, that's the up. Yeah, that's fine. And then we've got the lower areas, which will be okay. So we'll just keep on coming back up the fortress till we get to... we definitely need to get rid of these things. I don't really want them here. God, where do we want to put the dumping zone? You know what I might do is I might put the dumping zone out and just drop it into, like from a height. Let's go and do that. Got just the spot for it. Thinking in here. Let's just drop it. That's a long way down. So let's make that the dump zone off this way. So we'll drop here. So we'll just have a drop zone there with a dumping area above it or around it. So we'll just go into that location there, and then we'll have a. The trouble is going to be security. A massive dumping zone here. Then we'll come up just for security here. So if we then get the staircase and go up one, we then can block this off. It'll ultimately be done like that. All right, and then that will be secure. We'll be able to then put another hatch cover there and be done with it. All right, we've got a lot of mining to do. Now, unfortunately, these things are going to stink everything up initially. I might throw a door in here and just temporarily put this as a dumping zone. Alright, that'll do us for now. Let's just go into the zones. There's different ways of doing this. So place a zone to establish different things. We do actually have a garbage dump. Items designated for dumping will be tossed into open air spaces included in this zone. If no open air tiles are included, they will be dumped the items on the floor, which is what I want to do here. So I'm just going to place a garbage dump in here initially, and then we'll get rid of it. So we'll just go and accept this. So we've got a garbage dump zone. So when we do go into the various various bits and pieces that we have, I'm going to designate these for dumping. That one for dumping, just so we can get rid of it. There should be a fair few of them around. Dump that one as well. We just don't want them stinking up the place. Now Bjorf is going to be already stinking up the place a little bit here. So now it's somebody's trying to move. So I'm just going to do that and then tell it to go and be dumped. So I'm going to dump Bjorf's corpse as well into that dump zone. Now that's I've only got 3 of these. There should be a 4th one somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Was that it? Is that the whole lot? I think it was. Yeah, and then the others were underground. Okay, we've got a lot of mining to do here. Let's just let them continue on now. I've only got one more thieving creature. It's more abhorrent goo raining. Everyone's busy, I think. I'll let them mine. I'm actually thinking I might even stop this. Oh, we've got migrants. Okay, so now we can do some naming. Just quickly pause and go to where they are and see what they've got. Okay, so they're going to be coming through. Now the first one, I'll just go through the list that we actually have. So the first one is Serion, is coming in. So this is Serion. This is a woodcutter. Perfect. Now, going to pick up equipment straight away. So we'll just go and Serion is the woodcutter. That's one. Here comes the second one. An animal dissector. Not very useful for us. This one is Began, which of course is typical for a Began character to not be all that useful. But we'll get in the middle of different things. So is Weeko, unfortunately, so not going to be all that great for the military either. Tiny Mutant Squid has redeemed one as well. Okay, I'll get, just got a few more. So he's got 2 children. His spouse is Edom. Here we go. Now, this is a dwarven child, only 5 years old. When they get a bit older, I might name them. I'll see how we go. If we don't get, I'll name the children last. So, and here comes a Whitebeard. This one is going to be Orangutan's Library. He's got a pet poult. Orangutan's Library, and this one is a miller. Again, something we just don't need. So, so they're all arriving, which is awesome. Novice trapper, novice furnace operator, weaponsmith, armorsmith, blacksmith. That's useful. There's his pet poult. This is Id Mammothfath. Oh no, and we've got bloody cows and stuff. Now we have 4 thieving or mysterious creatures. Here we go. Here comes another one. This is Kadol, who is competent spear dwarf. Okay, well that's useful. So we've got another one for our military if we need it. So this one is Klingzog. All right, and next one should be, well, looks like that's it for this first lot of arrivals. We're up to 11 now. Let's have a quick look and see the names. Make sure we got everyone. So Bomb Wreck is the last one that we didn't actually pick up. So now they will still, the children, like anything over sort of like 1 will actually end up just doing its own thing. So it is worth naming those. So we have von Schweinhund. It's the next one in our list. So I've got one redemption yesterday from from when we were playing Distant Worlds 2. So I'll keep that one sort of separate. But we do actually have von Schweinhund, and then Tiny Mutant Squid will be the next one in. So von Schweinhund, you will be the kid. Bomb Wreck. I've done that one wrong, haven't I? I think I've still spelled it incorrectly, but anyway, we know who it is. You turn off Hall Corpses for children. No, just let them. In these sorts of fortresses, it's whatever happens. I wonder what they think. Does it change each time? Yeah, it does. That's pretty funny. All right, so they're now wandering into the fortress, and so they're wandering through the goo, and so they're going to be a bit unhappy even when they first arrive, because although they will be able to go and clean themselves off at least. So that's the first arrivals that we've got. Now we've got 3 thieving. Again, more Durians down below. That's all right. That's okay. So Serian has gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you very, very much for that one. So Serian is paying forward that they got from Began. That's very, very much appreciated. Thank you for that one. Kid, does that stand for long life expectancy? We'll see how we go. Sorry, I've missed a few of the other comments. We'll just go back there again. Yep, so Mike was saying, actually, no, that was early on. Where did we get up to? Just go back through the comments. Oh, yeah, no, we're up to date. That's good. Hey, Marcus Strap, there goes the neighbourhood. I'm saying, oh, good military again. Eventually, we'll see. We need you to get equipment, and we don't really have equipment at the moment, so we're going to need to do a lot of different things here. Well, let's just get established first. We're still in the first year, still trying to establish the actual fortress. So this is a problem. We have a bit of a problem here, and now that we've got all these different things actually happening, let's just get down and start to fix what we require here. And they need to get this out of here. Like, they need to fix this up. Actually, what I might do is just close this off here for now, and then we'll figure out the best way into this room and how we'll then sort of operate it. Might dig it round this way. Now, we've got a lot that we're trying to do. Now, the other thing we were trying to do was to establish the workshop layer. Now, they're going to have a meeting to start with. I'll just go and change most of this to blueprint mode, because we don't need to be mining most of this. I'll have a little bit of it. I want all of that dug out. I want that dug out. I do want this dug out, but maybe not all of it. Just a portion of it. As we come back up, bedroom layer, I do want this dug out. This is wet from the layer above. And this is not usable because of what we end up having above it. That's still all okay. We've dug that out. We haven't dug this out yet. We will eventually. Yeah, this is actually something that I need to remove. I need a 2 area done for this. One for a door and one for a block of rock, in case we have to sort of dig it in. And I think what I'll do is I will make them too wide. Might even go further afield. We'll end up with a massive hospital. Just go this way. So individual wards for every patient, ultimately, just because of the zombification that may occur. If there's a better way of doing this, you know, it could be more compressed. Although I guess that's okay. We'll just go this way. Just start to sort of set it up. I don't think I need more than this, you know. I think I'll actually ditch the bottom bit. That's still 8 beds. No, it's still actually 16 beds, which is heaps. So do you get down this way? Tenor is redeemed one as well. So we'll end up, we've got 2 more. We're waiting on 2 more. We'll end up with a fair few, I think, ultimately, in this fortress. So that will ultimately be our hospital. We haven't done anything else there yet. Haven't done anything else there yet for our military. Everything else is fine. So we'll just leave all that where that is. Now what will happen here is that the new arrivals will come in. They may go and clean themselves off first. We'll wait and see. So here comes Began. And if we have a look at the items, actually Began's clean. So so Began's okay. They're going to go to one of the meeting areas, which they're not going there. And normally we'll congregate it in around here. There we go. So Began's waiting. Yeah, so they're just going to wait around, and then they'll start to go to work. And so the yeah, there goes Klingzog, new arrival. Orangutans, just new arrival. They're not doing much. Began, just getting there. Now this one is Began is actually gone straight to work. That's good. And Serian, the woodcutter. Now Serian is going off to plant seeds, but it has picked up an axe, which is good. So Serian, God, we're going to have to really think about how we do this. What we might do is, well, we need to get a lot of the actual working areas of the fortress established. Yeah, we need to get that bedroom layer done. Okay, we've got a few different rooms in here now. So I'm going to go and create like a stone worker in here. Which I might go the other. I might wait for the other side to be done. Let's just wait for the miners to finish off their job. Durian creature is. Yep, just a Durian wandering around. There's more of them just on that layer there. Now we've got that calf, which we have to deal with. And you've really got to think about how we do this one. Now they're just automatically doing what they do. Yeah, we're starting to now get the miasma, which is going to start to stink up the place with these dead creatures. Got some in there. Come on, haul them, haul them. I don't know why they've been locked. Yeah, okay, Bjorf is now in here, which is good. And we've got things like Drunian right eye teeth. Now that's going to be a bit annoying because there's going to be a lot of that sort of stuff. Making furniture building, yep, that's okay. This is chert, that is okay. So yeah, that's fine. And we've got the Durian back in through there as well. So we just need to get them so that they don't stink up everywhere with the miasma. And what we'll do is we'll ultimately get Bjorf back out again into the coffin. But now we can build the coffin because Bjorf was in the way of the coffin and we couldn't move Bjorf off. So we'll just come back into the coffin now and resume construction. There we are. So the coffin, this is now for Bjorf. So I'm now going to go and undo the dumping. This one here should have been set for dumping. Should have been set for dumping as well. Yeah, got those there. That one should have been set for dumping. Why I didn't remember all this. Yeah, it's now set for dumping again. Yeah, I'm not sure what actually happened there. Yeah, so that's okay. They've all been sort of established to go into that little room there. We'll go back to Bjorf and now allow Bjorf's mangled corpse to be brought back in again. So I'm going to start to establish like different workshops down in this particular layer here. So this will be workshops. Start with the stoneworker, and yeah, chert was right there, so we'll just go and build it with that one. 2 stoneworkers would be okay, but I'll just go back now across. So I'll now start to establish the actual workshops, the real workshops. We need to get a mechanic. Make that one out of chert as well. We need to actually now bring our carpentry workshop into here. Made out of chert. And I'm not going to use that room just yet. We need a crafts dwarf. I'll just wait for them to dig all this out. That's good stuff. Okay, this is working out fairly well. And we've now got the dumped Durians are now in here, where the miasma can now just do its stuff. And anyone that goes in there is going to get a waft of dead Drunian, which is not great. Yeah, we'll just leave these where they are. Just keep on bringing stuff into this other side. Why are you playing in there? Von Schweinhut, what are you up to? Playing make-believe. Miasma. That's going to make him happy. Oh. Someone is fighting. The Drunian is fighting. Okay, that must be outside. Blind Cave Ogre. So, Okay, so there's actually an attack going in there with... let's just go and see if we can see what's actually happening. Now, this is... the Trinian's been killed. Our yak is still out there. I don't know where the blind cave ogre's wandered off to. Now, if that could come back as a zombie, this could be very, very dangerous. Oh boy, boy, oh boy. Oh, so all we've got there is that. That's everything that's dead. That must have been some time ago. You know what? I think we might bring back in the animals. We have a zone here for the yaks. Let's remove that. And let's bring them back inside. Okay, so because it's getting too dangerous out there. We'll need to go out and actually make something of this, but we're not ready for that yet. I've got nowhere to really place them. There's nowhere clean for them. This area looked a bit too dangerous as well. It's funny if I find it in this particular room. The dead durians. Now we've still got miasma floating around in here. This thing here, that should have been for dumping as well. We have multiple of those. Maybe we did. Yeah, so we've still got miasma back in through this other side as well. Don't think there's any of them in here. Just looking to see if there's any that got caught up with the rocks. I think that's all okay. I'm going to place like they've now had their food. Let's put all the animals in here until we can actually sort of save them. So we'll just go and got the cow as well. So if we just go back into this area, click on this one and add in the selected animals. Put all of them in here. All right, let's see how we go. And we'll just watch. We'll watch the yaks get rescued. Which should be in here. Oh, hang on. We need to unlock the door. Down to the yaks. It may wander up itself just to be sociable. Yep, there they go. Oh, here we go. What have we got? A troglodyte. It's coming in as well. This is Syrian. It's coming out to pen or pasture the other yak cow, which is where? It wandered right off somewhere. Where is this cow? There's the dangerous pit down that way. Let's just find out where this other yak is. Pets and livestock. It was the cow, so it's this one here. It's there. Oh, that's not too far away. Or is it? Oh, it's a little way. Maybe not. Hang on, we got that. Oh no. Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, no, it's just underneath this area here. There we go. Grab it and get it out of there. We don't want any more zombie animals around anywhere else. troglodyte has now made it inside. It's coming up with all the others. Damn it, it made it in. It made it in. Okay, so we're going to have to kill that one off now as well. Damn it. Okay, that's forbidden now. It's not being freaked out by the troglodyte, and the troglodyte doesn't really it's not really dangerous. Let's just see what it does. It's just following us around. Oh, there's heaps of them. What are they doing? You better not be stealing stuff. Yeah, we've put Dwarf back in the coffin. Look, we'll just let the troglodytes do what they're doing now. These are the turkeys are now freaked out for some reason. Terrified while in conflict, but we're not seeing the conflict. Is it the troglodytes? What are they up to? They're just wandering around. Okay. I don't know why they're there. They're sort of locked in now. I think they're sort of interested in what's going on in the fortress. Not causing any issues, I don't think, so we can sort of just leave them to their own devices. All right, let's just go back down and just get everything established in the fortress. We'll ignore them for now. We've still got this durian now. Why can't we throw that one away? Oh, it's the rock. Keep clicking on the rock. That's what it is. All right, so they'll eventually go and throw these away. This is actually where we ultimately want to have these. We need to put a hatch cover here. I need access to a hatch cover to start with. Okay, what we're going to do is we'll just go back and we'll plan for the hatch cover. So show the planner. And so when we build a hatch cover, that will then be what we need. So we'll just go and add a new task. Build a hatch cover. Now we should have tables for the hospital, but I'm going to use one of the tables, and we need a chair as well. Make a chair. Throne. And I'm going to make the actual office here for the manager. So that will be where we place that one. Furniture, table. And chair. And we can then make that into an office. So this is going to be our manager's office. So what we need to do is just to sort of explain. At the moment, I can't give work orders. Like if I go into the open the work orders menu, it's got certain things. A manager is required to coordinate work orders. So I can't do anything without having a manager do this one. Box is saying is Steam Dwarf Fortress the main version of the game now? Yes, it is. Yeah, too much work and too few hands. Actually, we're pretty good with the workers now. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go and grab that list. We've now got all of those done. So I'll just go and leave that one where that is. So we can't actually coordinate anything here without actually having a manager running the fortress. So that's what we need to do, is we need to allocate somebody into this particular area. So let's just go and do that now. And we do actually have, I'm pretty sure it's Munkerstrap that we actually had set up to be the manager. So Munkerstrap is here, but we'll just see if that's the case. So if I go across into the nobles screen, so the nobles are sort of like the dignitaries of the fortress. And so what we end up having here is we've got an expedition leader back and through here. We also have, the chief medical dwarf is also Cause Lord. Atomic Ant is the militia commander, but we need to have a manager. Now when we click on the plus, it will then show the ones that are the most, the ones that could be the most relevant. If we have a look at the broker, I'm going to make the broker, and we can see there that actually Orangutans has just arrived is actually better at this. Although we've got an appraiser, this is with Munkerstrap. Cause Lord is pacifier and consoler. Persuader, pacifier, consoler. So I'm thinking I'll end up with the broker being the same as the manager. And so if I go with orangutans, I'll have orangutans as the one that we make use of in the managerial position, and the bookkeeper as well. The bookkeeper, novice. Actually, Munkerstrap is the one. Novice record keeper. Like this is for bookkeeping, and we do want to have that as well. All three roles I'm just going to have as one person. So I'm going to go with. I think I'll still use orangutans for this. So orangutans will be the manager. Now what you'll see when we allocate the manager across is it says it needs a meager study. Now a meager, when it says it needs something meager, it just means the absolute most basic one you can get. So we just need a really, really basic manager for this particular, in this particular instance. And so in this case, a really meager office. And this is what this is. And so all I do is I just go back to my zones, and we then have a look for office. And if office isn't there, yes it is, there it is. Office, an office or study is required for certain official tasks, such as approving work orders and bookkeeping. So when we do bookkeeping and managerial tasks, we just need a meager office. So I'm just going to go and grab the office. I'm just going to go and place that in those two different areas. Except, now with DF hack, I can then sort of tell it what to do with the office. And so in this case, I'm going to allocate. See how it's got auto-assign the holder of the role to this particular location. And in this case, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I only have the bookkeeper or the manager. Let's click on manager because it should be the same person. And so if I go and click on manager, orangutans will then automatically fill that role. This is through DF hack, and this is through the base game. So it just manages the base game for me. It's certainly much easier playing the game that way. I'll just go back now and also allocate orangutans to the broker role. So orangutans, you're in that one, and also the bookkeeper. So orangutans will be the, even though he doesn't have any relevant skills for bookkeeping, he can now do all of those tasks. And we can sort of see down through there that we've now got the various, the offices have now been ticked off because we now have an office for orangutans. The reason we're leaving him in the middle here is because as people are coming in to do different things, he will then at least be able to talk to people. So it's sort of important to try to keep your manager somewhere where people will be walking past. That's relatively okay because of the workshops. We should be sort of using the workshops a fair bit. With that now done, if we now go back into our work orders, we no longer have that warning about what we actually have. Now I'm just going to go and import all the different work orders, and I probably should have kept one of my last fortresses so I could save it and then come back through. But we'll just go in and import, so I'll just go and click on import through here. And so we have library basic, furnace, glass stock, military, rock stock and smelting. I'm just going to go to basic. Now this will be overkill. So we've got heaps of stuff now that's actually come in. So we've got like the milk animal was there before, and it has like, prepare lavish meals. I don't want a lavish meal. I'm just going to go and change some of these things. So if I just go into the settings and through this other side, lavish meal. I probably want to. I just want a basic meal, and we are going to have to get this. We're going to need to set up kitchens. I forgot about the kitchens. This one doesn't change what we end up having there. That's the shop. That's the number. I'm going to ditch that and we'll come back to that one. You want to remove this manager order. Clear glass. I'm not sure what clear glass prepare meal is. Go to settings. Nah, that's all right. We'll just we'll get rid of that one and we'll just put our own in. Yes, proceed. Got brew drink from fruit. I'll ditch that one as well because we don't have any fruit. Press honey from honeycomb. We don't have that. Make mead. We don't have honey. Mill plants. We don't have millable plants. So there's a lot in here that gets added in that we just don't need. Process plants to bag. That's okay. Process plants barrel. I'll keep that one where that is. Mill. We have a miller but no actual mill, so we'll just go and get rid of that one. Spin thread, is it going to be important? Weave thread to silk. Yeah, we'll leave all this stuff even though we don't have a way of doing it yet. Dye cloth, we're not going to worry about. Make rock pots. Yep, make wooden bins, wooden jugs. I'll leave most of this stuff just the way it is, but there's lots of stuff in here. Mechanisms. And we can change the elements. So I think I'll just leave it all where it is. It's not going to matter too much. The scrolls we don't need. Scroll rollers we don't need. Not making sheets. We're not going to be making parchment. Press plant. Just slurry. Get rid of that one. Potash from ash. We are going to need this one for making soap. So I'll leave the rest of it there for now, and we'll come back and have another look at that some other time. That way it'll just designate what has to happen in here. And I'll just let it do its thing, but I'll probably come back and just have to retweak that one. I may even do it when we stop recording. This is going to be actually our dump zone when we, after this. In fact, I might just do that now and just go and get rid of this as a dump zone. And make this into my dump zone. All right, done. Accept. And then we do want to just come back in and just re-dump these. And that one, we just leave that one. Oh, hang on, no, that one there will dump as well. And so anything that's dumpable will then just be thrown into that particular pit, and that will then end up on the ground out here where we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's just continue on. We still had that other durian that was up this way. Where was it? There it is. Yeah, that's been set for dumping. Oh, hang on, not the hematite, the durian. Yeah, that's okay. And someone's coming to pick him up. So that's fine. Now, kitchens. We're going to need to get kitchens established somewhere as well. And probably really want to have them towards the top of the fortress. Maybe in this layer. Just start that way. Oh, there's 9 hostiles now on the map. Alright, we've got dark gnome corpses coming in. So we've got zombie gnomes are wandering in. Now, I don't know what they're going to do. Let's just go through and just see what we've actually got. 9 hostiles. 1, 2. They're all just going to be gnomes, I think. Yep, so just gnomes. Zombie gnomes. Shouldn't be very difficult for us to deal with, but again, we don't really want to be tempting fate. So we'll just go back across and lock down the fortress for now. Yeah, some of them are pretty close to our entrance, which is just over here. Where are we? Where's our entrance got to? Yeah, so we've got most things from inside, from outside, or inside now. We're just going to go and lock this area. So that's now going to be forbidden. That'll stop them from getting in, and we don't really need to worry about the. Oh, actually, we've still got turkeys and stuff in there. I won't lock this. I'll just let them do their own thing. I don't know where the troglodytes have gone. Troglodytes are sort of locked in with us at this stage, so I'm not sure what they're up to. Yeah, they're just wandering around. Yeah, no one's really worrying about them at all. Yeah, we'll just let them continue on with this one, I think. And we need a crafts dwarf. I'll just go and add one of those in as well, another workshop. So ultimately we're going to need, different workshops for different things. Here we go. Throwing the dead corpses down there now, where it won't worry us. Okay, there's troglodytes. I feel like just getting rid of them, but don't know what to do with them. I don't know how evil we should be in this fortress. These are now rotting away. So there's orangutans just working away. We've got more goo. So the hostiles are sort of running around all over the place. Now it's late summer. It's almost autumn, where the caravan is going to be arriving, and the outpost liaison. And we are going to have to secure this fortress because we don't want to be negative like what we were last time. So we don't actually have a trade caravan area set up, and we're going to need it. Where can we do this? We can just do it temporarily for 1 year. Let's go and do that now. But where? I need a 5x5 area. It's not ready. This will do for now. Let's just go and place one in here. I mean, we've sort of it's really patchy fortress, I've got to say. But let's just go and do it now. Just go into the trade depot, and we can put it there. So we'll just go across and waiting construction. That'll be okay. Just going to make sure I have it ready before autumn. And then we'll need to do this properly for the like we've got 2 years where they don't bring a caravan, and then when they start to bring the caravans, we need to then have an actual entrance. So we've got a couple of years to do that. Yeah, it looks like we've got okay. One of the it's become a turkey hen. Come on. Someone come and do this. There we are. Getting rid of all the rocks that were on it. Good. All right, so we've got this established now. So we've at least got the trade depot, even though it's not going to be permanent. It'll just be there for maybe 1 or 2 years, and then we'll do it properly. Get rid of it properly. Now, did we get rid of the? I think we got rid of the one that was on the surface there, which is fine. Troglodytes are still all over the place. Being a bit annoying, but anyway, that's what happens. Kitchens, how are we going with kitchens? Kitchens haven't been started yet. Let's get them done. It's running more goo. Now, I'm sure a military can take care of these guys. They're just running everywhere. They are really fast. So just zombie goblins. Here we go. So we're now just in time with autumn. And so we should end up with the, fairly soon, we should end up with the outpost liaison. So he's going to be coming right when it's raining the goo. Off saying, how grand is my mausoleum, Daz? Hope too many didn't die in its construction. No, it's there, but not. It hasn't. You haven't been put in it properly. And I don't know why. But it's sort of in the middle of everywhere. Everyone has to walk past it. Now you can forbid cooking items like... Yeah, you don't need to worry about it with DFHack. DFHack just manages all that for you. Actually, I do need to set up that as well. Just we've got like a planting box area for the turkeys. There's a lot of stuff we need to be doing here. A hell of a lot of stuff. Anyway, let's just wait till we get the others. At least the zombies that we're getting are not too dangerous, not like last time. Like they were debilitating, but there's still going to be some interesting fights going on with these goblins when the merchants do arrive. These troglodytes. I'm thinking of opening up the bottom again for them. Just to disappear, just to get rid of them. What we could do is actually make it so that it's a little bit more convoluted for them to get into the fortress. If we open up, if we put a door here, let's just go and do that. And then we'll open up the bottom and try to get them out of here. There's only 7 hostiles left. 6, so they're leaving the map. Five left. All right, they may be gone by the time the merchants arrive. This is pretty good. Just resume construction there now that we've got the area for the rock to be placed. So the dwarves are just automatically doing this again through DFHack. I don't have to worry about telling them what to do. Let's go and open this up now. Make that one passable. Let's make sure there's nothing down this way that we need to really concern ourselves with. Eventually I do want to secure all of this. And we're going to need to get blocks. So I'm going to go to the work orders. And I don't know what we should make the blocks out of. I like to just keep it to one type. We've got firelight through there. As we come back up through, we've got all this mudstone. We've got chert everywhere as well. Lignite is different. So chert we have a fair amount of. Yeah, we have a lot of chert. I'll go and add another stone cutter in here. Not that way, this way here, workshops. Stoneworker. Yeah, only one hostile left on the map. See where those troglodytes have got to. So we've got one out there. It's all this smoke. There's a fire started somewhere. What? Shame on smoke. Did the troglodytes do this? This one's unconscious. This is Monkerstrap asleep. In order after choking on smoke underground. How on earth did they make smoke? Okay, so, yeah, okay. Although it's a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Truthful Tomb is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious crafts dwarfs. Well, we don't really have anything. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death. All right, so we haven't really made anything. We've got some doors to show them, and that's about it. I don't know where the smoke is coming from. I've got no idea where that is, how the smoke is forming. Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay, the outpost liaison has arrived. And it's nice and clean weather out this way. 12 children, 2 lovers. So this is coming from the mountain homes. Might as well just follow it in. Oh, hang on, we've got the door locked. That's right, F1. Make it passable. So he'll now wander in. Here he comes. Through the goo. Actually, while we're doing all of this, we better go down to the workshop layer. And we'd better start to build some crafts. Okay, we're making pots and mugs and stuff. Okay, that'll do. We'll just sell whatever we can there. And this one here, I do want to go and... we've made this out of conglomerate blocks. But I want to make chert blocks. God, I wish you could filter this. Not seeing blocks there. And we need a lot of them. Ultimately, so we'll go and add another work order in. And this is going to be done through the Stoneworkers workshop. It's going to be rock blocks. So that'll be the bottom one. We'll make 10 at a time. I'm actually happy enough with that one. So we'll just go across. So the number, yeah, change the number of times. Yeah, so we'll make it 10. We'll just go back into here. So this will be make rock blocks. We just go back across with what we're going to be doing. Amount of items. Actually, no, we'll get rid of that one. So amount of rock blocks is less than 10, and the boulders. Now, I'll make a very specific one. How do we change that? The amount of rock blocks. I'll change the number as less than, say, 200, just so we've got lots and lots of them. Maybe even more, let's say 500. And the amount of non-economic hard rock boulders. Oh, there's the type there. Non-economic, yeah, we don't want that. Is greater than 10, that'll be okay. Type. I should be able to, if I just press escape. Yeah, make rock blocks, and then we're going to make these out of chert. We've got 77 chert, so we'll just go and make them chert. These are chert blocks. So I'll just go and do it this way, make chert blocks, and then we'll go back and change the type or the material to chert. Amount of chert is available is greater than 10, so that's going to be okay. So we'll just make these, we'll just make heaps and heaps of chert blocks. So I'll press escape, and I might make them in groups of, say, 20 or 30. Just so we can really start to sort of push them forward. All right, that'll do. So we've got 3 hostiles on the map. Oh, these are now chinchilla corpses. These aren't too dangerous. Anyway, well, let's wait for the merchants to arrive. Don't think the merchants have arrived yet. Oh, yes, they have. Okay, so the merchants are making their way through. They're actually near that chinchilla. We do actually have a troglodyte is fighting. A Munkerstrap is fighting yet again. Okay, so we've got troglodytes and Munkerstrap. Troglodyte misses the miner. Where is this happening? God, it's already over and done with. Okay, so there's already been troglodytes just aren't going to survive this. So there's Klingzog. Munkerstrap is back in bed again, injured yet again. So we'll have a look and see what actually happened with Munkerstrap. So something has happened with the. We've now got 3 hostiles. The troglodytes aren't considered hostile, but Munkerstrap obviously doesn't like them. Punches the miner in the lower, yeah, bruising the fat. Did he get killed here? Yeah, so hitting it in the head again with the copper axe. Who started this fight? Troglodyte did. This is the second troglodyte. What about the first troglodyte? Misses the miner. Yep, so the miner then punches back. Punches back. All right, so let's go and see what's happened with Munkerstrap yet again. Munkerstrap's a real, really is somebody that ends up in an awful lot of trouble in this fortress. So back in bed yet again. Smatter of Munkerstrap's. Not sure what's happened there. We've got durian, still got durian blood on the back teeth. No idea what's happening here. Health-wise, no health problems. Wounds. So we've got these have been sutured. So he's still been sutured. Diagnosis required through here. If we have a look at the description, his head is cut open, head is bruised, left leg, lower leg is bruised. Yeah, so there's a bit of bruising and a cut on his head. All right, so we'll now the troglodytes. How many troglodytes have we got? We do have a troll, which is out on this layer. Chinchilla corpses. Okay, we're not seeing any other. We've got giant crow, which is okay. No, there's nothing, like there's no other troglodytes there. 4 troglodytes are deceased. Don't know where all 4 of them are. 5 troglodytes deceased. Okay, so something killed them. I don't know what it was. It didn't come up in my list. Von Schweinhut was interrupted back through here. So they've just become a bit of a menace. I think what we'll have to do in future is just kill them off. Use our military, anything that comes in that we don't want, we will kill off. So what we'll do is we'll just go back down the bottom. They didn't take the bait to go down and leave. So we'll just go back and lock that down. Where was it? Yeah, it was further down this way. So we'll lock this. Forbid that one. And we're still trying to build everything in the fortress, so we'll just let everything sort of else develop for now. It's all very, very basic stuff. We're nearly through the first year and we haven't really done much. Just been fighting elements. Let's get rid of these bodies. Where are they? Further down this way. Throw you away. Throw that away. Troglodyte head. Get rid of that as well. Now there was 5 dead troglodytes. Where's the others? There's nothing there. And we got 2. 2 and one, like on one of their heads. Okay, I'm not sure where the other troglodytes got to. They've got to be dead in here, don't they? Unless they were killed outside. That's the other thing. Maybe they did make it outside and ended up dying out. Yeah, no, that's nothing. I don't think they would have been thrown away here. Yeah, it's just... There's just dead durians there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really not sure about that. So I'm not sure where they've gotten to. The dead troglodytes. Definitely not there. And not seeing them down this way either. Maybe they're outside. Anyway, let's just chuck the bodies out. Yeah, nothing else has really happened in through that side at all. Yeah, okay, look, in that case, yeah, we've got dead. There's a durian mangled corpse out there, which won't really matter that much. No, I think we're okay. So I'll just let that happen. We'll just wait for the trade caravan to arrive. We've got the bedroom layer now established. Egg rock pots is now completed. It's like there's still more of them around. I'll just get rid of that message. Now they're starting to get hungry, the animals. Now we have diplomacy. So the diplomacy is happening here. So Ava's, liaison from the mountain homes, let's discuss your situation. So what we'll do is we will be needing to get powders. I won't get too much because we don't really need a hell of a lot at this stage. Still very, very early days. So we'll go in with, where's powders? It's normally down near the bottom here. Miscellaneous? No. Not seeing it there. There it is, powders. So we want gypsum. So I'll ask that's all I'll ask for, is just gypsum. So it's going to be priced at 200%, that's okay. So let's discuss what we're willing to offer. Okay, a need for legwear is expected. That's not going to be, we're not going to be able to do that one. This export agreement only applies for trades next year. Yep, that's okay. All right, so that's the first bit of diplomacy done. The trade caravan will come through as well. So the 3 hostiles. Now they're... Oh, here we go. We've got a troglodyte head. So we need to... Marcus Strap still unconscious in bed. Health-wise, treatment... Yep, so needs neck and head, needs suturing from the troglodytes. And now we've got a troglodyte head has just come to life. Okay, military. So we've now got 4 hostiles on the map. 3 chinchillas and the head. We've got a military dwarf in through here, Supreme Plague. Bring me the head of this troglodyte head. So we'll confirm that one. Kill the troglodyte head. Actually, something else just killed it. Who killed it? Turkey hen. Id Mamet Fath is fighting and bites the troglodyte head in the head, denting the muscle. And I think that was enough to kill it. Yeah, they've just gone back to their routine. So that was actually just the turkey was the one that actually ended up getting the kill. That was easy. So Began was the one that was interrupted. I might block the... Oh no, here they come now. The military. So we've got all of this stuff which is there for dumping. Get the mangled head now as well. Okay, they're now looking after Marcus Strap again. We haven't had anyone die yet this session, and I have to get going fairly soon. Okay, so we've now got merchants have arrived and unloading their goods. Now we have hardly anything we can really do here. I do want to trade because it is really important that we get trading done. So what can we bring in? Move goods. Barrels. We're not making anything there. We've got to... These are not worth much at all. Bins, finished goods. We don't know what's going to be in them. Blocks. Not worth anything. Boulders. Not worth much. Cloth. Yeah, coffins. We do have a chert coffin. Alright, let's go and sell that. Crutches. We probably need to keep those. Doors. That one there's a beautiful door. Worth about 20. Footwear. There is a sock worth 100. There we go. We'll give you that. Handwear. This one's worth... so we've got a few different things that have been sort of rejected, maybe from our military. Logs, we won't worry about. Mechanisms usually sell for a bit. So we've got a few of these different mechanisms. So we'll bring in some of the good mechanisms to sell. Yeah, why not? We've got a few of those. Rough gems, we've got a few of these as well, but we'll wait until we can actually really make something good out of those. Tables, we've got one of those, not really worth it. Thread and tools. We don't want to get rid of those either. We do have the pots. This one's worth 20. There we are, that'll do as well. So there's not much there for us to sell, but anyway, that'll do. So I'll just wait for everyone else to bring their stuff in. Here they bring all the stuff in. So we'll now go and broker requested a depot. So we'll just now go and bring the broker in, which is orangutans. Oh, what have we got now? Damn, I didn't see all this. was old fighting. They made it inside. They made it inside. So do we have... one hostile is left on the outside. The others have been killed off. Okay, that's all right. They killed them before they could even get into their military gear. That's all right. We'll just leave that one where that is. I wasn't watching. Just go back down into the fortress. I think next week I'll have to just set the fortress up a little bit better than what we've done it. This is pretty bad at this stage. Is orangutans here? Where's orangutans? Oh yeah, no, he's there. Right, so he's now there. We can now do the trade. So now we'll just go and throw all of this. We'll just try to sell as much of this as we possibly can. How much have we got? 176, so hardly anything. Hardly anything, but at least if we can do something. There's a gander, a reindeer bull we don't want. And again, I probably really want to get plaster, so for when we do have problems, we can then sort of get rid of, make use of it if they've got it, if they've brought it with them. Not gonna be able to afford any of that stuff. That would be nice to get. Yeah, no, I won't do it. I won't do it. Plump helmets. Could even just do something simple like that. Jeez. Yeah, there's nothing much else there that we really want. So, I'm thinking maybe just food. So that's trade a profit, still green. Now they won't do it, but they'll do that. That'll do us. That's just a few plump helmets. That's all we can really get. So we'll just go and do the trade. So yeah, unfortunately the trade at profit is 76. So you want to trade the selected goods? Yes. Okay, that's done. All right, so we've now done what we had to do. Let's just go and ditch all that stuff. Oops, hang on. Hang on, that should be... Okay, I wish I could take so much. Oh, hang on, excess weight. It's the weight, it's the weight. 14, it's the mechanisms and the coffin. And the door. Get rid of those, and then the weight is okay. Alright, and so then we need to take less. There we go. Now we can. Good. Alright, we've done that. So that's all we can really do at this stage. Because they don't have a wagon, they can't carry much. Yeah, too heavy for the trader, says Klingzog, yes. Mungus Drive saying, well played, my turkey warrior brother. Yeah. Well, that was the pet turkey too. Alright, so we've done the trade. They will leave when they're ready. There's still one hostile. I'm going to probably have to be a bit more aggressive, I think, for when we do things. I'm going to have to set things up a little bit better than what we've got here as well. This isn't great with what we've done. Not sure where all the other troglodytes are. Have we thrown them away yet? Looks like there's... Oh no, that's just mud. That's okay. Just come back up to the top here. Yeah, these will be thrown away. There's a chinchilla skeleton. We'll throw that away as well. I'll have to. Yeah, I've got a lot of things to get sorted out here, like a hell of a lot. They're starting to starve, the animals. I really need to get these blocks done as well. I think, yeah, next week I think what we do is we just keep on trying to build up better. Like we've still got, okay, this is good. This is a good start. I'll do the other side as well. What have we got there? 6. Just start that way. Actually, I don't want to be doing that, so I'll just get rid of that one. And we definitely need to get food established here. So we'll just start to sort of work in what we need in this other side. We need to do a lot in here. I'll use this for cloth and I'll use this for food. So I'll just quickly do the food workshops. So we just go to farming. So we need a still. So we'll build a still there. And we need a few different things in through here. It's another workshop. Farming, the kitchen to cook everything, and then we need the farmer's workshop down the bottom there. Farming and the farmer, which does the milking and stuff like that. Alright, that's done. So at least we can get established there, and then that should automatically start to cook different meals and do different things. Actually, they won't do their meals yet. I didn't put them in properly back into here. So if we just go back across, we've got the brewing the drink from plants, which we'll do if we've got the still. If I just go across now and add a new one, this is going to be done at the kitchen. There it is, and just easy meals. And I will prepare 10, and then we'll just do this one here. The amount of unrotten prepared meals is less than, I'll say 20. And rotten cookable solid items is greater than 10. Yeah, so we don't have enough of these items. Should we go that one there? Yeah, that's not going to work either. So we need to, we're sort of running out of food here. So we'll just have to wait until that sort of is doable. Anyway, guys, I do have to get going, so I'm going to have to leave it here. So, hi, Linford Pickle, and anybody else has joined us as well. Yeah, been watching, Tommy is in sort of saying, been watching a lot of your Dwarf Fortress content these last few days. I've learned so much from you. Thank you for that. I mean, I still can't live long enough to even make steel, but every run gets me a little bit closer. That's cool. I mean, that's the way to play it, really, is... yeah, it's just to sort of have fun with it. So, so Adrian's saying good game, and saying your motto is is hard, it's fun. It is actually. I enjoy playing. Oh, hang on, here we go. Now got another one happening again. Okay, we have another fight going on. The fight's now finished. These troglodytes are coming back to life all the time. There's a chinchilla corpse there. We'll throw that one away. Yeah, I wish there was a way to trigger it so that it would actually end up pausing the game when something actually started a fight rather than at the end of the fight. Maybe I could just do it and then undo it. Oh, there we go. That was another zombie something or other. Came up this way. Troglodyte mutilated corpse was fighting again. Turkey hen bites the corpse in the lower body. Yeah, so we've got the... keep on throwing these away if we can. Keeps them coming back to life because we're not killing it effectively each time. So the turkeys are doing a good job. This Mammoth has had a fair few kills, ultimately. Bloody troglodytes. They are very, very annoying. think that's okay. All right, we'll leave that alone, and we'll just come back down to the workshop layer again. Yeah, making chert blocks. Yeah, so people are storing the blocks. What we might do is we need to start to dig deeper into the bottom of the fortress. There's 6 hostiles. Now what have we got? Lots of chinchillas again. Yeah, just lots of them. I'll leave that where that is actually, and then we'll come back and we've got one thieving. Okay, this case we've got a large rat which has come into the in here. That's not going to really be a problem. We do need to make sure that we've got the bottom of the fortress locked off. Let's just go this way. Yeah, that is locked off. That's okay. Nothing can get down there. All right, this is good. Yeah, so this is now getting miasma from what we've thrown down in through this other side. So they're just basically just been thrown outside there. I could even get an atom smasher for in this area if we needed to, but I think I'll leave it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and yeah, the troll can snack on the rat. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, isn't there? Yeah, Mammofath, the turkey of destruction, says Syrian. Yes. Whose pet is it? So that turkey is orangutans. So that's orangutan's turkey, pet turkey. I do have to get all this stuff. There's a lot to fix up in this fortress. We've just got bits and pieces all over the place. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week for more Dwarf Fortress.